They saying I'm beautiful. I appreciate you telling me that, but I am very much my daddy's. Please don't call me beautiful.
Please don't.
Please.
I don't appreciate that.
I don't want no rides.
And I'll come pick her up and I'm the driver. She don't want that ride.
I am happily owned by Angela Natural Genius. If you cannot tell, her name is tatted on my chest, so everybody can see who I'm owned by. Sorry, I am branded like a cow.
Child. Okay. So tonight we are going to be talking about very much what we just seen. We are going to be talking about this situation that has been brewing over on TikTok. Ciao. So I was on my Instagram and I'm just swiping through my Instagram looking to see what's going on. And as I'm swiping through my Instagram, I see a post about a lesbian girl who basically has this situation where she's recruiting BBW women to fawn over her and be a part of her cult. Now, the women have to basically get her name branded on them. They have to show their devotion to her. They have to pray to her, and they have to get on their knees and pray to her like she is a god. They have to give her their finances, and they have to do everything that she says, or else she makes them do bodily harm to themselves. And guess what? They do it. It's a mess. So I'm gonna break down this whole situation and talk about this in this video, because the rabbit hole goes deep, and what people will do out of desperation of wanting to be loved is crazy. And you often see situations like this with young girls because young girls are easier to manipulate. But when you have grown women, grown able-bodied women listening to with a little short Jerry curl wig on and colored contacts, it makes you want to go, what's really going on? Now, we're going to talk about this situation. We're going to get to the nitty and gritty. But baby girl is Nature Boy, the female version. She is the female version of Nature Boy. However, she don't provide no nature and she don't provide no shelter. I'm like, well, at least Nature Boy at least provide the bimbos with some shelter. At least he give the hoes a tent. He give them, an Airbnb they can sleep in. He give them a hotel that they can lay on. He give them, a pallet, on the beach that they can lay down on. This girl is Nature Boy 2.0, and she don't even provide these girls no shelter. And half the girls ain't even seen her in person. Now, we're going to get down to the nitty and gritty, but for this video, I had to pull out my Yes Daddy robe from my website to fit the occasion, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? For the occasion, in little baby's terms, I got to fit the occasion, and I had to pull out my Yes Daddy robe to talk about this daddy's girl. Okay, it's a mess. If y'all haven't been to my website, by the way, definitely go to my website, www.nique@nite.com, because I have robes similar to this. I don't know if this one is still in stock. I have to check my stock, but I got robes similar to this one, okay? Along with pajamas, I got the Rose adult goodies, you know what I'm saying? I got the buzz to get you going so that y'all ain't gotta be going crazy over little girls like this. Anyways, let's jump into it. So Angela the Goddess is a creator on TikTok. So basically she's on TikTok and she's a TikToker from Pontiac, Michigan. If you guys are on YouTube and you're familiar with YouTubers, if you are familiar with the YouTuber by the name of DDG, I believe that DDG is also from the same area, Pontiac, Michigan. And this is where this Jerry curl wearing, sometimes braid wearing, color contact wearing, stud, femme, I don't know what she is from. Okay, so she's from Pontiac, Michigan, and so she started to do TikTok videos where she would basically be listening to songs and she would pop in her color contacts. She put like a couple slits in her eyebrows and she would basically be gazing into the camera. So she would be gazing into the camera and raising her eyebrow and looking crazy sometimes, and trying to look sexy, and all the while she's telling BBWs how much she loves them. So she does these things, and she's like, I got love for these BBWs, and then she's gazing in the camera, and all the BBWs on TikTok were just in awe of her. They were like, oh my God, this Jerry curl wearing stud that has these color contacts is so fine. I just gotta throw my cooch through the phone. And I was just looking like, girl, we in 2021. Are we still wearing color contacts? Because that's very much the biggest red flag if I ever heard of one. But anyways, let's stay on topic. So she has these girls to start to get intrigued with her gaze and her raising of the eyebrows and her looking into the camera and singing these songs or whatever and telling the BBWs that she loves them, to the point where they really wanted to get close to her. So they wanted to get close to her, and as a vow to her, they started to get her name tattooed on them.
To show Daddy that I love her, I am outside of the tattoo shop.
You where?
Good Time Tattoo Shop in Oklahoma City.
Good Time
Choctaw,
Tattoo,
Oklahoma. Daddy, I love you. And to show you that I love you and that I am Daddy's girl and I belong to you, this is what happened.
When you love them so much and you want to show them that it's real, you put a name on it. I love my daddy. Her name is tatted on my chest so everybody can see who I'm owned by. Sorry, I am branded like a cow.
All right, so as you can see, these girls are crazy, but they were really feeling this girl who sometimes wears a straight wig, sometimes wears a Jerry curl wig, but nonetheless, she don't never forget them damn color contacts and a really, really, really bright filter to make her look super light. But, she had the girls going crazy. They're putting her name tattooed on them, and she decides to design Daddy's Girl. So she has this situation called Daddy's Girl, and these girls are basically to call her daddy. They have to basically wake up by 9 a.m. and get on their knees, and they have to pray to her as if she is a god.
Because that's what Daddy is to me. She is my God. She is my Omega. She is my Alpha. She's my everything. That is who I pray to. She is everything to me. So, it is what it is. But that is and will forever be my God, my daddy, my everything.
They have to pray to her as a god, and whenever she does TikToks, because that is her main platform, they have to be on the lives when she goes live, and if they are not on the lives, they get punished. Now, the punishment that she has inflicted on her daddy's girls is cutting. So if they don't do what she says or be on her live, or if they go ghost when she is supposed to be in contact with them, their punishment for it is getting out some type of blade and cutting themselves on their inner thigh. Now, there's one female who basically went ahead and met up with her. So the girl goes, flies to her, I'm assuming in Michigan, goes to see her in person. I'm assuming she leaves behind her 2 children because the girl got 2 kids. Okay, goes to meet with her, stays with this girl for about a month, and after a month of abuse and mistreatment from Daddy's Girl leader, she decided to leave. Now, once this girl decided to leave, she decided to blow the whistle on basically what was going on while she was under Daddy's Girl code. Okay? And when she revealed some text messages, it got very, very dark. It was some dark stuff that was going on, and I'm just like, are people that lost and lonely to where it's like, What? It's crazy.
And one of her ex-ladies, daddy's girl ladies that left, she revealed a text message that pretty much outlined what they had to do and what daddy, the leader, Miss Daddy's girl Angela, expected of them. And let me just read this real quick before I show y'all how they press the girls when the girls don't do what they supposed to do. So this is the Jerry curl wearing, contact wearing girl, Angela, and this is what she said. Y'all should be up at 9 a.m. every day. Get off your bed, go to your knees, and pray to me. Get in the shower, get dressed, and eat breakfast. And start your work on TikTok. It should take at least 1 hour. Then whatever you have to do that day after you talk to me and do everything I say, I will see if I allow you to. If it's not an appointment or work, you are not able to leave before 12 p.m. And then you got the girls talking about, yes, daddy. And they grown behinds is agreeing to this madness.
This is the issue, is that we know where you were this weekend. And we're just feeling like since you was with that person, you chose not to entertain daddy. You have been ghosted from everything. You haven't been on TikTok. You haven't been on Instagram. You haven't been nowhere. That is the issue. Is that the person that you say you love so much, you ghosted her all weekend while you was away. Okay, you told her last week that what you was dealing with, but did you tell her that you was not going to be at her live? Did you tell her that you was not going to reach out to her or contact her at all this weekend? Did you tell? I understand that you told her that she was going on vacation. I understand that. Okay, daddy. Back to the music.
So as you see this video, you see Carrot Top basically pressing another female for not checking in on their leader, their daddy's girl leader, Miss Angela. So according to the girls who have left, because I believe it's like 2 girls who have left this little cult, they have to check in with her when she wants them to check in. She gives them a curfew, and she basically runs their life from another state. Like, they don't even live in the same state as her. She can't even drive and pull up on them, but she still runs their lives. So if she says, hey, I want you in the house, or I don't want you to leave the house by 12, or I want you in by 4, the girls pretty much listen, and they're in the house, and they don't leave till 12, or they're in back by 4. If she wants them on her live, promoting her live, they're sitting there promoting her live. Like, she got a hold on these girls, and they listen to her, and they do what she says. And if they, God forbid, have something else going on and don't listen to her, their punishment is cutting, and they have to cut themselves, and they have to self-inflict harm on themselves to prove their devotion and to prove that, you know what I'm saying, they understand. They have to cut themselves, and then, you know, I guess they get back in her good graces after their punishment, and they have to do what she says. If they don't do what she says, then the punishment amplifies to even more lashings and licks and self-inflicting harm. Now, there was one female who was a part of her daddy's girl situation, and this female is a mother of 2. Now, this female has 2 kids, and she talks about how she met this chick in January, and by March, she was flued out for a month and undergoing abuse by this Jerry curl, sometimes contact wearing, all the time contact wearing, sometimes Jerry curl wearing, sometimes feminine, sometimes stud female by the name of Angela. Now, she gets out there to Michigan or whatever to see this girl. I'm assuming she done left her children behind to follow behind some cootie cat, okay? And she done went and left her kids behind, and she went on this interview, and she basically described a time where she got beat up by the leader, Angela, misleader of Daddy's Girl because one of the other girls wasn't doing what they was supposed to be doing. A miss. So she goes on this interview, and I believe it's called Black Podcast or something like that. I don't know. I probably don't have it right. But a girl had interviewed her, and on the interview, she's talking, and she's pretty much saying, like, she was there. Another girl wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. Girl, it's a lot. But anyways, so she tells the story. Matter of fact, let her tell you, because I just was listening, and I was just like, what?
The other girl that lives in New York, she was on the phone and she went live on TikTok without her permission. So she asked her to cut, but she did not cut how she wanted her to cut. She wanted them to be neat lines, and she wanted them to be bleeding all the way. And it wasn't given what it was supposed to give to her. So the hotel was 5 minutes from her house. She literally drove 5 minutes. And we're literally yelling into the phone, like, just do what she asked you to do. Like, and she's sitting there, she was like, she got 30 seconds. She was counting to 30. And then when she got to 30, she just started, like, backhanding us, smacking us, choking us, just all of that. And I'm the type of person, like, I grew up fighting. So, like, I was giving reactions, like, I wanted to hit her, but I didn't. Like, I was jumping, flinching, and then she just was hitting me even more. And the other person was like, you just got to sit still. And I'm the type of person, I can't just sit still and let somebody hit me.
Yeah.
The interviewer is hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Not even kind of. That's very crazy. I can't believe y'all dealt with that.
Okay, so after she talked about how she got beat up because another girl wasn't doing what she was supposed to do, she then talked about how the girls taunted her and told her, like, basically she needs to cut 700 times to, I guess, please Daddy, because she had left. So she had left, and she pretty much, I guess, got fed up from getting knocked upside her head, and she went back to her 2 kids. And the girls who are, I guess, the bottom bees decided to press her and tell her what she needed to do to, I guess, get in good graces, or I don't know. Like, I guess just, I don't know. Here is it.
I appreciate the compliment, honey, but please don't call us beautiful or gorgeous. Please.
Please don't.
We don't want no rides with Daddy.
No wrong rides up here.
And Daddy said if with the 700 cuts, they better be neat.
You heard what she said.
And then after you finish cutting, you need to pray for forgiveness.
So as you see that, she got Tweedledee and Tweedledum pressing other girls to inflict this harm on themselves if they don't do what she says. So she has herself as the leader, and then she has Tweedledee and Tweedledum to be her enforcers to get the girls in line, and they're basically her bottom bees, okay? To try to get the girls to fall in line. Now, in order to be a daddy's girl, it is so many people who are desperate for love and attention that they are even hearing about this situation, hearing about her, still wanting her attention and falling for them colored contacts and them weird eye gazes into TikTok. Now, she raises her eyebrows, like I said, and, you know, does these weird gazes. And the BBWs are just loving it. So in order to be considered, you have to basically devote your TikTok to her. You have to put a yellow heart in your TikTok name, like around your name or whatever, like your bio and all of that. It has to be filled with yellow hearts, and it has to be a TikTok filled with you reacting to her weird eye gazes, okay, to show your devotion. And at that point, you are a daddy's kitten. Okay? Once you graduate from being a daddy's kitten, then you bump up your level to being a daddy's girl. Now, the girls that you just seen were her daddy's girls. Those are her enforcers. Those are her bottom Bs. And they pretty much keep the girls in line. Now, all of these girls are in different areas all over the U.S. and they are vowing for attention for this contact wearing girl who sometimes wears a short Jerry curl wig or sometimes wears, her hair in plaits, sometimes wears a straight wig. I mean, she just, she has a variety of looks, all that come with color contacts from 2005. Now, the crazy thing about this story is she was once a BBW herself. So as I mentioned in the beginning, she was a BBW herself. And while she was a BBW, she had a girlfriend who many believe that she still has, whom she had to call daddy. Now, she calls this girl daddy, and there's pictures and photos of the internet of her when she was a BBW, and screenshots of her old Instagram page where she was vowing and devoting to another girl. And it's crazy how the tables turned to when she lost the weight herself, she then had other girls doing onto her as this other woman had her doing onto her, if that makes sense. Y'all catch my drift? The girl Angela had now the girls from TikTok doing onto her as her previous girlfriend had her doing onto her. You get it? Okay, whatever. Anyways, so she has just basically been wreaking havoc on these girls, and they are falling for it. They're in awe, and it is a growing cult. And she even has these fake prayer robes or these fake religious robes. She has this whole ritual where she burns the candles. And she has this situation where she makes the girls pray to her, and they have to pray to her as if she is their God. Now, the girl who escaped from this whole situation, some say she was kicked out, some say she, got fed up and left. It even got so dark to where this mother of two, she talked about how she was so hurt behind her daddy having these other girls. She got to the point where she was even considering cutting her face. Now, the text messages versus what she say in the interview with the Black podcast are kind of opposite. The text messages clearly say she was pondering on cutting her face, but when she went on the Black podcast, she kind of tried to say something along the lines of, oh, well, I really was never going to cut my face. But it's like, girl, you admitted to cutting yourself. You admitted to getting beat up by the girl and not doing nothing. But now you want us to believe that even though you said that you was going to cut yourself, that you wasn't really thinking about it? Okay. Anyways, so she shared text messages, or somebody, I don't know where the text messages came from, but the Black podcast had text messages where it showed that she was willing to inflict harm to her face to get Angela, daddy's girl leader, attention. And the text message read as follows.
She starts off by telling the Angela chick, you have a slew of women to keep you occupied. And the Angela girl says, so what that got to do with you? Question mark. She then replies and says, maybe I should cut my face. Would you think I'm beautiful? Would you still want me? You won't miss me as much. That's what they got to do with me. I would rather suffer from a plague. And then the Angela girl says, you want to cut tonight? Question mark. And the girl replies and says, why not? There is excitement, a bit of amusement in your eyes to see it, right? And then the girl Angela was like, this is not you. And then the girl replies, so make me cut my face. I have to leave you alone. I can't do this anymore. May I please be excused?
Okay. So as you see that, she was basically trying to get the girl's attention and even pondering cutting her own face. Now, like I said, when she went on the Black podcast, she swore up and down that she wasn't actually trying to cut her face, but that was pretty much one of her final straws, that she couldn't take it anymore.
Now, in the beginning of the interview that she did with the Black podcast, she admitted to cutting. She said, she felt like she was just being a submissive, and she admitted to cutting. Now, towards the end, when the Black podcast pulled up them receipts about her wanting to cut her face, then she kind of switched her tune up, and then she was like, well, I wasn't actually going to cut my face, but I'm just like, girl, I don't know. I'm going to play those two clips and then I'll be back.
So did you ever cut yourself?
Yes.
I guess I'm wondering, like, you didn't think, how did she introduce that for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it?
Honestly, one day, I can't remember the exact conversation, but one day she asked me, she said, have you ever cut before? I said, no. And she said, have you ever thought about it? I said, I've thought about it before, like, going through depression, going through, certain things in life. I said, but I never could actually see myself going through it, like going through with doing something like that to myself. And then one day she was really angry and she called and she said, go get a blade. And of course it resulted in me cutting myself. And honestly, with being submissive, I know before I heard like of submissive having punishments. So I thought like maybe being her submissive, this was like a punishment. But yeah, but now now I know like even other submissive is saying like that, yeah, like that's more demonic than dominant submissive type thing.
Okay, so as you see that, she admitted that she was cutting, and that's how she kind of got under wraps to do this cutting for this Angela girl, because she felt like she was submissive. Now, fast forward to when they start talking about her last and final straw, where she said that she was going to cut her face. Like I said, she claimed that she really wasn't going to cut her face for real. She was like, oh, I have 2 kids. I wasn't gonna cut my face, but then she talks about how, that was her way of getting the attention. So I'm just like, I don't know.
Before we go any further, is this you texting, Shay?
Yeah.
So this is you texting Angela unprovoked. This is you texting her on your own. You saying that you want to see blood, you want to see torture, you want to feel pain. And so how is it that it's brainwash or manipulation when it's you saying this stuff? Me cut my face. I have to leave you alone. I can't do this anymore. May I please be excused? Bye. So can you kind of explain what your mindset was, or what you was thinking, or what had you in such an emotional distress?
I can't remember. Like I really can't remember that night. I can't say about the face thing because there's quite a bit of me saying that, because there's times where before, like, she'll play a game. She'll be like, oh, let's play a game. And then she'll like write body parts on a piece of paper, put them in a bowl. And she'll kind of like put her hand in, pretty much like pick a name out of a hat type of game.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, oh, face will come out. Every time it say face, she'll like ponder on it, and then she'll be like, oh, I should make you cut your face. Oh, you're too pretty. You lucky I'm not gonna make you cut your face. So yeah, there is more than just that, that particular text. There is other texts of me saying, like, basically taunting her with, you want me to cut my face? Should I cut my face? Type of thing, because that's what she would pretty much threaten me with a lot of the times. One time, like, I literally was begging her, like, on the phone, begging her, like, don't make me do it. Like, because like I said, like, well, I have kids. I can't cut my face. I have a mom to look at. I have people out here I was never really gonna cut my face.
Okay, so as you can see, even though she got text messages where she was asking the girl, like, you want me to cut my face, like, you want me to just do it, she's claiming that she never really was going to cut her face. It's a mess, but nonetheless, I'm glad that she was able to get out and get away from the situation, because it's just crazy. Like, she had only known the girl from January to March, and the girl from 2 months time span had already had her flew to where she was, cutting herself, getting beat up. And it's just like, it's a sad situation, because she is recruiting other women and they're flocking behind her because they falling for this little eye gaze that she be doing. Now, it's crazy. But what do y'all think? I don't know. If y'all want to see the full interview that she did with the Black podcast, I'm going to have it linked down below. Also, a person on Twitter had basically broke down like a bunch of different clips that they found around this whole daddy's girl goat. Okay, so I'll link that down below as well, because they kind of get all the excerpts and the clips that you can follow. But if you go on TikTok and type in daddy's girl goat, a lot of videos will pop up on there as well.
It's crazy. Like, I want to know from y'all, who's at fault here? Are they at fault for being vulnerable or and insecure? Like, do you feel bad because this person, Angela, is preying on, somebody who may be in a vulnerable state or have low self-esteem? And then you have the girls who are BBWs who say, just because you are a BBW does not mean that you're vulnerable and have low self-esteem.
It's a lot of layers to this conversation. It's, the manipulation. It's now, the social media finesse. It's the idea of a person forming a cult. Okay. And getting these women to do what she wants them to do. Now, she's preying on girls that are, plus size BBWs. And it's crazy because, like I said, she was one as well. Now, what's even crazier, like I said also, is she even got a daddy herself. So the Angela girl even got a daddy herself while she making the other girls call her daddy. It's just a whole lot. And like I said, if y'all want to see more about this, then just go to TikTok and type in daddy's girl goat, and it's going to pop up. You're going to get all the videos that's going to take you down the rabbit hole, because it's a lot more involved in this. I think there was a situation that had to do with like a child and a girl that had a kid, and a father got him. Like, it's a lot. So it's a big rabbit hole, and she is Nature Boy on steroids and not even giving the girls shelter. I'm just mad that she ain't even providing them shelter at least.
Nature Boy, even though it's infected peen, he at least slanging them some type of peen or something. This girl ain't even giving y'all the strap, and y'all handing over y'all wallet and getting tattoos, and ain't even getting no shelter. Like, she not even providing y'all a tent. I'm like, I never thought I would see the day that I give Nature Boy credit. At least he giving the girl some vegetables. He giving the girl some vegetables, and now he ain't even vegan no more. He even giving the girl some steak. These girls ain't even getting no dang vegetables, no veggies, no beans, no rice, or no steak, and they just handing over their full wallet for a girl that's gazing in the camera on TikTok with color contacts. I heard of being dickmatized, because, I ain't never been no bimbo over no D, but I done had some good D to where I've been like, I don't know. But this is a first to see some females get TikTok-matized, to where they ain't even getting the D, they ain't even getting the strap, they getting TikTok-matized and handing over their purse.
Now, she done flew a couple of them hussies to her, and she done put the strap on them. But for the most part, most of the girls ain't even getting the strap. They just vowing and devoting their time to her over state lines, to where she can't even pull up on them, and she got them, to the point where they is cutting themselves, child, really legit cutting themselves. The girls be all the way in another state, can't even get off the girl live, and she threatening them, telling them that they got to cut. And they cut.
What scam will these girls come up with next? I don't know, but I know what ain't a scam. My website is definitely not a scam. So you can go on over to my website, www.niqueatnight.com, and invest in yourself some toys to where you ain't got to be investing in time and affection from these wannabe boys. On that note, I'm out. Peace.